June 2018, Cristiano Ronaldo has just won his third consecutive Champions League title with Real Madrid. His fifth overall. He is 33 years old. He is still the best player on the planet. And 3 weeks later, he is gone. Not loaned, not rested. Gone. Sold to Juventus for 112 million euros. The greatest player in Real Madrid's modern history, the man who scored 450 goals in 438 appearances for the club, packed his bags and left. And the official story was simple: a new challenge, a new chapter, time for something different. But that was never the real reason. To understand why Ronaldo really left Real Madrid, you have to go back further than 2018. You have to go back to the relationship between one man and one club, and how that relationship quietly fell apart over 3 years before the transfer was ever announced. It started with the contract. In 2015, Real Madrid offered Ronaldo a new deal. Ronaldo's representatives wanted parity with what other top earners in world football were receiving. The negotiations dragged. They went on for months. The club eventually agreed to revise terms, but the process left a mark. Ronaldo had felt, for the first time, that the club did not value him the way he valued the club. That seed of doubt never fully went away. Then came the tax case. In June 2017, Spanish prosecutors accused Cristiano Ronaldo of defrauding the Spanish tax authorities of 14.7 million euros between 2011 and 2014. Ronaldo denied the accusations, but here is what burned him most. He felt that Real Madrid did not defend him publicly the way Barcelona had defended Lionel Messi when Messi faced similar charges in 2013. He felt abandoned by the institution he had given everything to. He felt that when it mattered, the club looked the other way. He said it himself. In the summer of 2017, just days after winning the Champions League against Juventus in Cardiff, Ronaldo gave an interview and said, on record, that it would be very good to play in England again. He was not being casual. He was sending a message. He was telling Real Madrid that his patience had a limit. Real Madrid did not respond the way he needed them to. The club signed Kylian Mbappe. No, they failed to sign Mbappe that summer. Paris Saint-Germain moved faster, and while Florentino Perez was focused on the next generation, Ronaldo was watching a club that seemed more interested in building the future than protecting the present. The 2017-18 season confirmed everything. Real Madrid won the Champions League again, their third in a row, an achievement that had not been matched in the modern era. Ronaldo scored twice in the final against Liverpool and Kyiv. He was, by any measure, still the decisive player, still the man who showed up when it mattered most. But domestically, Real Madrid finished third in La Liga. Their league form was poor. Barcelona, driven by Messi, won the title by 17 points. And within the dressing room, there were tensions that never became public but were felt by everyone inside the club. Ronaldo was earning more than any other player. He was producing more than any other player. And he was also privately unhappy in a way that had been building for 3 years. The Champions League final was played on the 26th of May, 2018. Ronaldo scored. Madrid won 3-1. And in the post-match interviews, Ronaldo said something that stopped journalists in their tracks. He said it had been wonderful to play for Real Madrid. Past tense, wonderful, had been. Nobody caught it in the moment, but he already knew. Florentino Perez has never fully explained what happened in those final weeks. What we know is that Juventus made contact. They offered 112 million euros. For a 33-year-old striker in any other context, that fee would have been considered impossible. For Ronaldo, Real Madrid accepted it almost immediately, and that speed, that willingness to let him go without a fight, told Ronaldo everything he needed to know about how the club truly saw him. He left on the 10th of July, 2018. His press conference was composed, dignified, and completely controlled. He did not cry, he did not rage. He thanked the fans, thanked the club, and said it was time for a new challenge. But those who knew him said the composure was the most telling thing of all. He had already grieved the relationship long before the press conference happened. The leaving had been decided in his mind months earlier. At Juventus, Ronaldo did what Ronaldo always does. He scored 101 goals in 134 appearances. He won 2 Serie A titles. He carried them to the Champions League quarterfinals twice. But the Champions League, the trophy he joined Juventus to win for a 6th time, stayed out of reach. Juventus were eliminated by Ajax in 2019, by Lyon in 2020, by Porto in 2021, 3 years, 3 exits before the semifinals. The one thing he had gone there to achieve never came, and in August 2021 he left Juventus too. He went back to Manchester United. The club, where he had first become Cristiano Ronaldo, the boy from Madeira who arrived at Old Trafford in 2003 for £12 million and left in 2009 as the best player in the world. He went back at 36 years old, still scoring, still chasing, still refusing to accept that the peak was behind him. But Manchester United in 2021 was not the Manchester United of 2009. The club was in transition. The management was unstable, the dressing room was fractured, and Ronaldo, a player who needed structure, who needed a project, who needed to be at the center of something that was winning, found himself in an environment that could offer him none of those things. The breakup with United was ugly in a way the departure from Madrid never was. In November 2022, Ronaldo gave an explosive interview in which he said he felt betrayed by the club, that he had no respect for manager Erik ten Hag, and that certain people at Old Trafford were trying to force him out. United terminated his contract by mutual consent. He left without a farewell, without a ceremony, without the dignity that his career at that club deserved. He joined Al Nassr in Saudi Arabia in January 2023, a 2.5-year contract worth a reported €200 million per year. The football world had an opinion about that. Most of those opinions were not kind. But here is the thing about Cristiano Ronaldo that gets lost in the noise of transfers and contracts and press conferences. The real reason he left Real Madrid, the real reason behind all of it, was never money. It was never taxes. It was never even the Champions League, though that mattered more than anything. The real reason was respect. Ronaldo needed to feel that the institution he gave everything to valued him not just as an asset, not just as a goal scorer, not just as a commercial product, but as a man who had dedicated the peak years of his life to making that club great. When he stopped feeling that, the relationship was already over. The transfer was just the paperwork. At Real Madrid, he scored 450 goals. He delivered 4 Champions League trophies. He gave them a decade of the most extraordinary individual football any player has ever produced for a single club. And when he needed them to stand beside him in a moment of personal difficulty, he felt they did not. That is why Cristiano Ronaldo left Real Madrid. Not for €112 million, not for Italy, not for a new challenge. He left because he stopped feeling at home. And for a player who had spent his entire career trying to prove he belonged, to prove that the boy from Madeira deserved to stand beside the greats, the moment a club made him feel like a guest instead of family, staying was never an option. The goals were always going to come, the trophies were always going to follow. But the feeling, that is the one thing no transfer fee can buy. And when it was gone, so was he.